My family and food is my passion, and shopping for the very best fresh ingredients is what makes all the difference. Join me as we go on a journey of heartwarming food filled with mouth-watering dishes, bound to get those taste buds tingling. Welcome to my kitchen. Today, the star of the show is the humble chicken, and we're going to show you how to make 3 tantalizing dishes. We're starting off with some succulent and crispy spatchcock chickens. We'll be making some quirky Thai basil and chicken spring rolls, honey and mustard chicken breast with a Caesar salad, and we're finishing off with some delicious chocolate and strawberry crepes. I love using baby chickens because they're nice and easy to cook. So the herbs I'm using today are sage, some thyme, some parsley, and we've got oranges and lemons, and I've got a little bit of white wine, which is just my flavoring. So I need a little bit of lemon rind to go into my sauce. So the rind is going into a bowl. We want to chop quite a nice quantity of herbs. Some sage, and sage we just want the leaves, we don't want any of the stems, and that can just be sliced quite thinly, it doesn't even need to be chopped. And some fresh Italian parsley to add to the flavor. Some coarse salt and black pepper. And just enough oil to bind this mixture because there is oil in the skin of the chicken, so we don't need a lot of oil. I'm using a beautiful classic olive oil. And now what I want to do is just take the rind or the skin off my lemons, and this is the easiest way to do it. Make a flat top and bottom and simply peel it down the lemon. And then we're ready to slice it. So we've got orange slices and lemon slices, and they're all going under the skin, which are going to give me lots and lots of juice. I'm using oranges and lemons for a nice balance so that it's not too sour. It gives me a nice mixture of citrus. So by spatchcocking, you're opening up the whole chicken so that you get the seasoning inside and outside. I'm putting on gloves because it's just the easiest way to handle chicken. So we want to lift up the skin. It's quite simple. Just pop your finger underneath and just loosen it quite gently so you don't break it. And that way we're going to put the herbs right underneath, and it keeps it beautiful and moist and really doesn't let it dry out at all. So we take these herbs and just gently push them underneath. And you want to get them in as much as possible so that you've got most of the chicken covered with herbs. We need to keep some for the other side as well. And then I'm going to put some slices of lemon and orange underneath as well. And that's going to give me lots and lots of flavor. So with the rind, it becomes very bitter. But without the rind, it gives you a gorgeous, juicy, beautiful chicken. So we want to do skin side down and finish skin side up. So we're going to rub some of these herbs on the inside of the chicken. I'm going to keep a few for when I turn it. And we want to season this really, really well because salt and pepper are going to give you a beautiful flavor. So a little sprinkling of paprika. I'm going to pour a little bit of wine around the chicken, not over it so as not to disturb the herbs and the seasoning. And I'll keep doing that while it's roasting, just to give it flavor and to connect with all the juices that are coming out of the chicken and to make a beautiful tasty gravy. And my oven's preheated to about 200 degrees. I like a very hot oven for chicken because then my skin gets nice and crispy, and we always use the bottom rack of the oven so that you get the most intense heat. Let's get started with our Thai chicken and basil spring rolls. So for this dish, I've got some beautiful fresh ginger, garlic and chili, which form the base of it, along with some red onion. And what we have here are some glass noodles, otherwise known as vermicelli or bean threads. They need to be soaked for about 15 minutes in boiling water to soften them. We have some basil, carrot, and some sweet chili sauce going into the mixture, and our chicken, which is going to be ground or minced. So we're going to fry it all together, put it into our spring roll wrappers, and then serve them with a sweet chili mayonnaise sauce. I'm only going to use about 1/4 of an onion. We don't need too much here. Some grapeseed oil in the pan, a little bit of garlic, drop of chili just to give me a bit of a kick. And now I'm going to chop the carrots in the same machine. We'll add the carrot to the onion. I'm going to add some salt to my onion and carrot. Now ginger, when it's fresh, is never going to be gnarled. The easiest way to peel it is actually to use a teaspoon. It peels beautifully, and you don't lose any of the flesh of the ginger. Grate my ginger in. Let's mince our chicken and add it to the pan. And because they're chicken mince and it's breasts, it's quite dry, so we might need to add a drop of oil just to give them a little bit of body. I'm mashing them so as not to get big lumps. While they're frying, I'm going to shred a little bit of basil to add later. I want to add a little bit of salt and pepper to the pan. Then I'm going to stir in the sweet chili sauce. About 2 tablespoons. It just gives you a little bit of flavor. And then we're going to add our basil. And that's beautiful. We want a dry mixture. You can't put a wet mixture into a spring roll wrapper, otherwise it's going to make the whole wrapper wet. So I'm going to set this aside. We want to get rid of as much water as possible. So we literally cut them in pieces into your mixture. Let's check on our chicken. It's been about 35 minutes. They're looking fabulous. So now we want to do the skin side, where we're going to get that beautiful color going into the skin. And they'll probably need about another 35 minutes because baby chickens really are quite small. I'm putting more herbs on this side. Some salt and pepper. And a little bit of paprika for color. And then a drop of wine to go around them in the pan. Right, back in 35 minutes. Our chickens in the oven are almost done. We'll be making some quirky Thai basil and chicken spring rolls, honey mustard chicken breasts with Caesar salad, and later on chocolate and strawberry crepes. Don't go away. Welcome back. Today the theme of the day is chicken. We're starting off with some succulent and crispy spatchcock chickens. We'll be making some quirky Thai basil and chicken spring rolls, honey mustard chicken breasts with Caesar salad, and later on chocolate and strawberry crepes. And we're about to make some honey and mustard chicken breasts with a delicious Caesar salad. The secret to this is having juicy, beautifully cooked chicken breasts. So what we have are some mustard and honey, which is for our sauce, egg yolk, garlic, lemon, olive oil, and a little bit of Dijon mustard, which is the dressing for the Caesar salad, and of course cos lettuce, which is the base of all Caesar salads that withstands a really nice strong dressing, and some croutons to finish it off, plus some Parmesan cheese. I'm going to show you a really neat way of cooking them so that they're beautiful and tender and not dry. We want to butterfly them. So butterfly means take the fillet off, this little thing, put it on the side, cut through the breast, but not all the way, and we literally are butterflying it. So we're opening it up to cook right through. We want to rub just a little bit of oil onto the chicken. We're not going to put any oil in the pan, that way it cooks perfectly and gets a beautiful color. So a bit of oil and a little bit of salt and pepper. And not too much, just enough to coat it. So we only put 3 at a time. We never want to overcrowd the pan. They'll take just a few minutes to cook, and a normal cooking time is about 20 minutes. This way they're probably going to take about 10. I'm leaving them. They need to sit there until they are cooked completely on one side. If I try and lift them now, they're going to stick to the pan, and then I know that they're not ready. So I'm waiting until they get really nice white edges, and that's an indication of how well done they are. They look like they're almost done. You can see they lift off really easily. They've got beautiful color. I'm going to be putting them back on later with the sauce to finish them, so I'm not worried that they're not quite done in the middle. Mix the honey and mustard together, and it's just enough to give you a beautiful flavor on your chicken breasts. Now remember, it catches, so I've turned the stove off. We actually don't need the pan to be very hot at all. What we want to do is give it gorgeous color, and you'll see that the minute you put this on, you get that beautiful golden color coming out in the breasts. We're going to brush the other side. So we take them out, and we'll just let them rest while we are making the dressing. So the base of a Caesar salad dressing is always egg yolk, a little bit of garlic if you like, some Dijon mustard, some lemon, and of course your oil, which emulsifies to make like a mayonnaise. I must start off with my egg yolk, the Dijon mustard, a little bit of garlic, and now we're going to add the lemon juice. So just a little squeeze, you don't want it too lemony. Give that a whisk. We'll add a pinch of salt. And now we start pouring the oil in a very slow stream so that it thickens as it works together with the egg yolk. And if you add it too fast, it tends to split, so be careful. You can see it's getting thicker as I'm whisking. It's a beautiful thick sauce. It just needs some pepper and a little bit of salt. Perfect, delicious, and ready for my salad. So let's put this together. We've got some cos lettuce. And you always want to just break the lettuce in your bowl. My beautiful wedge of Parmesan. I'm going to cut just a little piece off. Grate it on top. We're going to drizzle some dressing over this. sprinkle a few croutons. And that looks absolutely scrumptious. So let's get going with our spring rolls. I've got spring roll wrappers under a towel, and the towel is slightly damp, just to keep them from drying out. So you want to work quite quickly when you work with these. These are available in most freezers of the supermarket, and they come quite a lot in a packet, so you need to pull them apart. They're quite strong and sturdy, so they don't break that easily, but they need to defrost in the fridge. So I start off with my filling in the middle. Fold the pastry over and roll it quite tight to seal it. Very tight, and as you can see, it's quite a strong pastry. A little bit of egg just on the edge just to seal it so that when we fry them, they don't break. Let's make a few more. They're great as a starter or as an accompaniment to any meal because they complement your other dishes really well. I'm using sunflower oil, and we don't want too much, just enough to put a little bit, about 1 centimeter in the pan. And we need to heat that to a medium heat. So the quicker we fry, the less oil goes into the actual food. The sauce to go with this is some mayonnaise and sweet chili sauce with a little bit of fresh lime. It's just a slight dipping sauce. You could just use sweet chili sauce if you like. So let's mix that together. It's about 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. Couple of tablespoons of sweet chili sauce. Give a nice squeeze of lime. And it gives you a beautiful contrast of flavors. My oil feels absolutely perfect. You want to hear that sizzle and then you know it's ready. So we never want to overcrowd the pan. We'll do about 3 at a time, maybe 4, because the minute you draw the heat away, they take longer to fry and then they become quite oily. They're perfect, they're beautiful and crispy, and there you have it. Thai chicken and basil spring rolls with a sweet chili mayonnaise sauce. Our Thai chicken and basil spring rolls are ready to go. Honey and mustard chicken breast with a Caesar salad. Our chickens in the oven are almost done. When we come back, we'll be making chocolate and strawberry crepes. Don't go away. It's a standard for most people's dinners, but chicken doesn't have to be boring. We've already made 3 tasty chicken dishes: succulent and crispy spatchcock chickens, quirky Thai basil and chicken spring rolls, honey and mustard chicken breast with a Caesar salad, and we're going to finish off with the sweetheart of the meal, the chocolate and strawberry crepes. So for my crepes, of course I have strawberries. The base of the actual mixture is flour, milk, some sugar, some melted butter and some egg. And then I'm going to fill them with a little bit of Nutella just for that extra added touch. And to drizzle on right afterwards, we're going to melt a little bit of chocolate with some cream, which gives you a beautiful finish to the whole dish. And I'm going to put that in the microwave, which is my drizzling for the top. So I've got my crepe pans. These are quite shallow, so they're easy to lift the crepes out of. I've sprayed them because we don't want to actually use butter. They don't need them. They're non-stick pans, they're easy to use, and as soon as they're nice and hot, they'll be ready for us. So we start off with our flour. We're going to add the egg next. I'm going to add my sugar, milk, and the melted butter. So we're just going to whisk that with a blender. Right, that's beautiful and smooth. You can always test the mixture. If it's too thick, add a little bit more milk or a little bit more water. You want your pans really, really hot so that they get a nice, beautiful brown edge to them, and a very thin layer goes in the pan. As soon as they've curled away from the edges, and I can lift them, and I can see they're getting really nice color, then I'm going to be ready to turn them and let them sit for about a minute to cook nicely on the other side. Right, these are done. Now we're going to fill them with our chocolate filling. So using the inside of the crepe, because we want that beautiful brown on the outside, we're going to spread them with our chocolate spread. I think this is everybody's dream. A few sliced strawberries down the center, and you could do banana if you'd like. That also works beautifully. I'm going to check my chocolate sauce in the microwave. Now the sauce is melting easily because it has cream in it, so the chocolate really doesn't need long in there at all, probably about 40 or 50 seconds. And now we can drizzle it over those crepes for decoration. And that is the finishing touch. Right, let's get our chicken out of the oven. Our chickens look succulent, crispy and juicy. I've got some gorgeous gravy at the bottom of the dish, which I'm going to spoon over just to finish it off and give it gorgeous color. So there you go. That's how you take a neighborhood chicken and turn him into the king of the roost and end off with something sweet. We've made some baby lemon spatchcock chicken, some honey and mustard chicken breasts with a Caesar salad, some delicious chicken and basil spring rolls, and ending off with crepes filled with chocolate spread and strawberries. What a delicious meal. Don't forget to catch us next time, where I'll be making some delicious dishes for Cocktail Fridays, including for crunchy panko prawns, rosemary and parmesan flatbreads, some meat kofta with a hummus sauce, and lastly a butternut and laksa soup. Don't miss it.